こからは英語でやらせていただきます。Next up is the session on Web3 and crypto outlook into 2024 and 2025. We are honored to have outstanding guests who are leading the forefront of the cryptocurrency industry this event. Please welcome Nick Noriedo, President at Eden Holdings. Please me hands. 拍手お願いいたします。Next, Akio Tanaka, Founding Partner at IVC. And next, Liang Kim, Co-founder and Partner at Hashed. And next, Takeshi Chino, General Manager at Binance Japan. And moderating this session, we have Keigo Agata, Director and Board Member at N Avenue CoinDesk Japan. 皆様どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
Hi everyone, thanks for making it out to this session titled Web3 and Crypto Outlook into 2024-2025. My name is Keigo. I'll be moderating this event. I'm currently director and board member at N Avenue, which operates CoinDesk Japan, which, as many of you probably know, is the official Japanese version of CoinDesk, which is the largest Web3 media in the world. So going down the line, want to jump right into self-introductions?
Hello everyone, my name is Takeshi Chino, currently with Binance Japan as General Manager of the Japan operations. I have been working for Binance roughly 2 years now, and our mission is to build an ecosystem enabling Japanese users to access our cutting-edge technologies in a Web3 ecosystem. Prior to Binance, I was with Kraken, one of the global exchanges based in United States. And prior to crypto industry, I started my career at Tokyo Stock Exchange. So I'm a kind of like exchange man. Very nice to meet you.
Hello, my name is Ryan Kim, co-founder and partner at Hashed. Hashed started from 2016. We used to be just third group of the blockchain, but turned out to be a crypto investor. So 2017 was quite crazy year for Korean market because there's a huge premium named Kimchi Premium. So we gathered all the global founder, we introduced them to Korean crypto community, and we out of sudden became a crypto VC. Now we are one of the biggest crypto VC in Asia. We are positioned as connecting between US market, Western market, and Eastern market. And so far we invested around 200 companies. And especially we invest in many the gaming project and entertainment and IP sector. And now we are globally distributed, based in like San Francisco. I just moved in Singapore. And also we have an office in, obviously we have an office in Seoul and Bangalore. Now we are opening up office in Abu Dhabi.
Hi, I'm Akio from IVC. We're kind of like a Japanese version of Hast. But resemblance aside, we are also the organizer of this event, IVS Crypto. So everyone here, thank you for coming to our event. But we are actually newer fund than Hash, so we don't have the same level of experience as Hash team, but we've been very active in Japan and the rest of Asia. And we are seed stage VC with about 200 portfolio, and about 40 of them are actually here today, so hopefully you get to discover them later. But I'll tell you a bit more about what we're investing later in our discussion.
Hi everyone, I'm Nix, representing Eden Holdings. We are a venture builder and an investor focused on consumer applications for Web3 and very emerging market focus.
And we do projects together sometimes.
Awesome, thank you so much. So as many of you know, Web3 is an ever-changing industry with lots of new developments all the time. So having said that, what are some industry trends and or investment theses that you guys are currently looking at? We'll start with Chino-san again.
So obviously, I have been working around the exchange business. What we have been seeing recently is more adoption of Web3 technologies by traditional companies, not necessarily by financial institutions, but by corporates, like tech corporates, more manufacturing. One of the examples is that Toyota has been active around hackathon, and they build on blockchain laboratory. And also the Sony has recently announced that they acquired a licensed exchange, crypto exchange in Japan, which shows that tech company also quite looking to the opportunities around Web3. So I would say not only startups are in crypto industry or blockchain industry, but also traditional large companies are quite eager to do something around Web3 now. So that may be a good opportunity for investors when it comes to like investment opportunities. Not only investing to crypto directly, but people can look at the listed companies having Web3 exposures.
Great. How about you, Ryan?
Yeah. So actually, no, we are exposing like our investment to U.S. market and Asia market. Over time, like last 8 years, we keep watching like U.S. market. They're like making a lot of infrastructure. Also, they decide standard and all the application on top of them. Many Asian founders building application and alluring user, onboarding user to that network. So of course, like if you see now L1, like Ethereum, of course they're from Western, Solana, also Aptos Sui and Barachain. So many L1s are coming out from there. But at the same time, like IP, gaming, or entertainment, they're all from like Korea, Japan, or Southeast Asia. So as a company level, we are exploring like a US. We co-invest with A16G Paradigm. That's such a mega fund to many infrastructure deal and help them like come into Asian market. At the same time, in Asian market, we are looking for the good deals in application layer. At the same time, as like maybe we will touch regulation part and institution. As after like regulations coming in and RWA is more approachable. So, for example, Ondo Finance or like Ethena, like a lot of yields generating the projects are coming out. So so far, like most of the yields in DeFi, they're bringing like yield from the speculation, more like long short. People borrow money for long in Bitcoin, but now they're like aggregating yields from the real estate or under collateralized lending or GPU side. A lot of like yields are coming into crypto, and like crypto investors can expose to the higher yield than like U.S. Treasury. Like 10 to 15% of the yield is a very attractive, even attractive for the crypto investors. So now I feel like the merging between a real world and crypto world is one of the trends that we have to focusing on.
Tanaka-san, please.
Yes. So first of all, if you asked me the same question a year ago, I probably wouldn't be smiling. It was a pretty tough time a year ago. I think these people actually have always friendly smiling face, but I was actually scared shitless a year ago because a lot of our portfolio were struggling, right? But I think all the like right reasons that I think Ryan here mentioned, things actually started changing more recently, and for us, IVC always invested heavily in the gaming sector, but we also invested around gaming in the infrastructure space. And these investments actually turned out very good. So for example, we have Ether here, which actually provide distributed GPU power for gaming companies. And it's 4 billion plus TVL company, and we are the first investor in that space. And we also have things like Meme Land that actually brought community from Web 2 to Web 3 and in a very successful way. And then we have things like a gaming AI-related infrastructure company that are helping you create in-game assets. And then we also have distribution play like Xpla in Korea, which is a great portfolio and partner of ours. And more recently, we backed a platform that's part of Telegram's Ton network. So Ton Play is basically the game-focused app store for Telegram players, and that's also now I think the latest number was crazy, like 90 million users. So we think that all the investments we made, yes, some of them didn't work out, but few of those bets on infrastructures are supporting gaming and the related communities have done extremely well. And so I'm a much happier person this year than I was last year.
Always great to hear. How about you, Nix?
A lot of interest really on the consumer side of things. I think we have too much block space and not enough users who are willing to spend. A lot of that is being driven now by Ton Network for Telegram. But at the same time, I think you have Line and Kakao coming together for Kaya Network becoming a potential dark horse layer by which developers, entrepreneurs can build upon. Very interested as well in the future of work. So before it used to be play to earn, and then you could be blank to earn, like all sorts of ways to earn. But I think the gig economy is here to stay. You're seeing more sustainable models around that. Things like data labeling, real revenue backing the token economy, and looking forward to those type of applications moving forward.
Great, thank you so much. As Chino-san mentioned in his introduction, we've seen a lot of institutional adoption of blockchain and crypto, especially in the finance industry, whether it be banking settlements or actual investment products. As many of you know, spot ETFs were approved earlier this year. So, just want to get your thoughts on how institutional adoption of blockchain and crypto can drive wider adoption into consumers, as you just mentioned. Again, we'll start with Chino-san.
I think our institutional business will bring more sustainability to Web3 or blockchain industry, given that these people are powerful and these people are impactful in terms of trading size, their political influence over the regulator, etc. And especially, back to January this year, we saw big news in the industry where U.S. regulator approved BTC ETF, and that has positively impacted pricing of cryptocurrencies, of course. Through the ETF structure, kind of a structured product, more people are accessible to crypto indirectly, and which actually expanded the scope of the user bases. Yeah. And when it comes to Japanese market, I don't think like ETF will be coming soon, unfortunately. There are quite a few discussion points around regulatory requirements. So, but as an industry group, with other fellow members, I have been deeply engaged in that kind of discussion. Hopefully, we will have Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies ETF in Japanese market, so that more institutional flows flooded into crypto market, and that will expand user base in Japanese market too.
So, Ryan, how do you see the institutional side?
Yeah, of course, like a BTC ETF, Ether ETF, definitely big moment. The people mindset changed a lot from very conservativeness to very progressiveness. So even Korea, Singapore, any other country, like not even US, like there's a lot of institutions are getting interested in crypto and exposed like maybe a few years ago, 3-4 years ago, there's a report that like all the hedge fund or asset management they have to expose at least 1% of their asset to cryptocurrency. But now like I think it goes up to like 5 to 10%, and few aggressive like Brevenhauer, for example, they're more caring about crypto than traditional assets. And as like institutions are coming in, I feel the VC ecosystem will be changed. For example, like long time ago, contents were very freely traded. Probably you know about like torrents, BitTorrent. Everybody just freely trade, for example, MP4, MP3, and people can consume like movie and drama, music for free. But once the regulation comes in, then the company who follow the regulation, they can raise money from the institution. For example, like now, BitTorrent still alive, but they cannot formulate a big valuation. But whereas now Spotify, Netflix, in Korea Melon, or like so many content streaming platform are like kind of the major service in the contents world. So I think institutions are like kind of proxy for the mass user. So far, like crypto was kind of market for just crypto native, a geek, or like early adopter, but that was just 10 to 20%. So our target market is like a 20 to 80, 80% of the user. And once the service onboard this 80% user, they can be the major service, and that will accrue the most of the value rather than just 10 to 20% of user base, the crypto native service.
So I think this is a probably question that Chino-san knows the best here because he used to work for Tokyo Stock Exchange. But one of the things actually, I used to, at some point in my life, I used to do, as a hobby, do equity trading. And one of the chart I was always looking at, I just wanted to know if there was a net flow of money into specific stock exchange, whether it's NASDAQ or Tokyo Stock Exchange, or net outflow. And that actually has a tremendous impact. Maybe not on a specific single stock, but as a whole, it has a huge impact. So crypto actually, in the last cycle, we had a lot of net outflow. But what this ETFs, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum ETF has done is that it brought actually net inflow of capital into the whole crypto market. And obviously, it has a positive impact. Now, but if you try to unbundle it, like people who are investing into Bitcoin ETF and Ethereum ETF are not the same people who's going to back all those crypto projects here. They don't actually care. They probably don't even know. However, the whole inflow of money actually has lifted all the altcoin market as well. And actually it then trickles down to us, VCs who actually invest in early stage projects. So I think overall it has a positive impact, but we also need to watch, right? The money that comes in quickly can also leave quickly. So I'm just watching to see how long this new institutional money is going to be a constant. As long as it's constantly bringing new money into the market, I think it's a positive trend. But we're still at the beginning.
Great point. That next.
Yeah, I mean, greater regulation also means clearer regulation, right? And when you have clearer regulation, you're going to allow institutions, marketplaces, startups, businesses to be more open to integrate blockchain technology and as well as the digital assets surrounding it. I think what's interesting is for many years, the crypto industry spoke about the tokenization of securities. But now the trend seems to be the opposite. It's the securitization of tokens, right? It started with Bitcoin. ETH is coming. There's a Solana spot ETF coming in the US now. And you're probably going to see a lot of major projects.
Actually, that's very ironic.
It's ironic, right? But it's moving towards greater liquidity, and with greater liquidity equals more opportunity, more capital inflow into the total space. So hopefully we'll see a much larger Web3 digital asset space moving forward.
Great, thank you so much. You just mentioned my next question was going to be the regulatory aspect. So how should Web3 blockchain projects sort of navigate this regulatory landscape? There's increasing regulation now, so how do you see the trend going forward? How do you advise your investments and so forth? Starting maybe with Nix.
So, clearer regulation means businesses are much more open to integrating Web3 solutions into their products. Think of payments, right? For a large e-commerce marketplace to accept a Web3 payment solution upon checkout versus the traditional financial rails, that big marketplace, whether that's an Amazon, whether that's an Alibaba, or a Rakuten, or regardless of market, would want to make sure that they're kosher with regulators.
And there's new partnership between Stripe and USDC.
Yes. So once regulation becomes clearer, Web3 solutions will really be integrated into the products and services we use every day. It will no longer be called Web3. It will simply be another option that these consumers will be able to use. Once it's omnipresent in that way, I think that's where we will really see true adoption for a lot of these products and services.
That's a great point, thank you. Tanaka-san, please.
So I think our friend Ryan here can probably tell us about what's happening in Korea, but I'll talk a little bit about Japan. So today our event got kicked off by Prime Minister of Japan's message. So the Japanese government really trying to actually figure out how to use this new Web3 power to help with the economy. And this comes from actually a major lesson. Japan largely missed out on Web 2. Actually, Korea's done much better in Web 2. We totally missed out. So the government is now trying to figure out, okay, there's a new technological shift, so maybe this is a time Japan can actually get ahead of the game. And one of that strategy actually came to areas like stablecoin. So we backed a local stablecoin player here with Circle, and the company is JPYC. And I think Japan was actually quite innovative to be the first major economy to approve it. Now, obviously, approving it doesn't create an ecosystem overnight, but it's the first step. Now, the government gave us, rules under which we can actually play, and it's actually up to those startups to figure out how to grow under the rule. But I think it's a very positive direction for us.
Ryan, if you could talk about the
Yeah, like Akio-san told us about like Japanese market regulation, and we are also like very keeping eye on the regulation part, and definitely like we are very impressed of the Japanese government progress. The Korean part is like obviously market formulated first, like 2017. Now if you see the major exchange in the world is like Binance, Upbit, and Coinbase. Still, Korean retail investors are very, very greedy and speculative. So the Korean market is Korean government is very worried about there are so many scam and fraud. So the regulation is the purpose of the regulation is like preventing like the worst case. Like of course like filter out all the scammers and fraud, and of course the regulation had to expedite the innovation as well. So this is kind of very hard to make a balance between regulating stuff and open innovation. But Korean government is a little bit getting very conservative about that sense. Also, like the standard of this market is led by U.S. government, so they're a little bit waiting for the U.S. guideline. Also, at the same time, like Singapore is like after FTX collapse, they became very, very conservative. So I'm staying in Singapore, but I feel like Singapore government don't want to make a move earlier than any other country making a regulation. But at the same time, whereas like the Abu Dhabi, UAE is going to they're going to embrace the crypto community. Like 2 years ago, after Binance could not get the proper license in Singapore, they decided to move to Abu Dhabi here. And also we are trying to get a crypto fund license in Abu Dhabi. And of course, like Abu Dhabi has a huge amount of capital themselves. Like their sovereign wealth fund now is like $2.5 trillion. So they're trying to like replace, like so far the center of finance used to be Hong Kong, Singapore in Asia, but Abu Dhabi is taking back to Middle East. So there's a lot of things that are happening here and there, and as an investor and founder, they have to make an arbitrage between the U.S. market, Asian market, Middle East market, and maximize the effect of the arbitrage.
So maybe Chio-san, if you can comment on maybe the Japanese regulatory outlook going forward. What do you think are the next changes that are coming? How do you see the regulatory aspect in Japan going forward?
Yeah, I think as Akio-san mentioned, so Japan regulator implemented regulatory framework back to 2017, and they have been doing a kind of a trial and error kind of experiments in crypto industry. They first, I would say that a copy and a paste from traditional finance. They basically use exactly same regulatory framework for traditional security kind of market to crypto. So there were quite a few things matched with crypto industry, to be honest. But since then, Japanese regulator have been proactively communicating with market players, including exchange players, and try to learn what actually happening and what are business models that crypto exchanges are doing, and also token projects are doing. So I think that kind of story never ends. So as long as the industry goes, people need to improve framework. So that's my position here. So talking about Japanese regulatory outlook, I think one challenge we are facing is unflexibility of the regulatory framework itself. It's true that when a new technology comes up, the old framework has less relevancy to the situation, right? So people needed to update that framework, but changing a law takes time. Of course, people need to get consensus from the Congress, and needed to change subordinate laws and regulations accordingly. So it takes time. So I think the key challenge in Japan is how quickly and flexible to catch up the innovation happening in Web3 world, and try to bring more kind of innovative activities in this country.
Great, thank you. So one last question from me. Maybe we'll start from Nick's again. What keeps you up at night? What's the most exciting trends going into the second half of 2024, 2025? Where do you see the most exciting projects?
Still around consumer. It's surprising that e-commerce is so large in Web 2, but off the top of our heads, I think very few people can name at least 5 projects around e-commerce for Web 3, right? As regulation improves, I think payments, which was the original promise of Satoshi Nakamoto's vision for Bitcoin, can finally happen, and you see a lot of players in that space. And once you have payments, once you have the infrastructure to support commerce, you're going to see a whole bunch of next generation consumer applications built on Web3. So very excited about that space.
Tanaka-san, how about you?
So I largely agree with actually Nick's here, but I think we are betting things that's enabling the consumer adoption. So whether it's platforms for distributed identity like Carve here, or GPU infrastructure for gaming. And I think all those things, if everything Nick is saying is coming true, they will also boom because they are enabling those new trends. So that would be our focus.
How about you, Ryan?
I think all three of us are focused on the question. Yeah. So basically, like consumer-facing app is like, if you look back to Web 2, like who is the most innovative and tech giants in the world? It's like Amazon, Google, Apple, Facebook. They're all like consumer-facing app. They're locking in the user to their platform, and the people cannot leave from the platform. That they can maximize the value. So Web3 wise, so far, of course, it is open network, but I believe consumer-facing app at the end, that will accrue the value mostly. And what we are good at, like especially in Asia, Japan obviously are very good at anime and gaming, Korea, K-pop, also gaming, China and Southeast Asia. So there's so many consumer-facing app will come out. Even TikTok is the biggest social media in the world. So we were looking for the opportunity around there, but at the same time, like U.S. market is a de facto capital market. Most of the money is there still, and like we want to connect this consumer app and traction all the activities, and eventually connect to U.S. capital, also like a crypto like natives to make more flourish market.
Last but not least, how about you, Chino-san?
So I would like to reiterate on the importance of having institutional players into this industry and market. So compared with the traditional finance, what was the bottleneck of the Web3 or crypto finance for the institutional players to enter, which was they only made a profit through trading activities, used to be. So they just did a trading and made a profit out of transactions. There were no opportunities for them to basically long-term invest, unfortunately. However, due to the recent innovation in the crypto industry, now people are enjoying the opportunities to put an asset and get a return through staking activities or lending activities, etc. And some quite ambitious project tries to build a yield curve with cryptocurrency, which should make another opportunity for institutional players to put more asset into this industry and market. So I would say, like, going for 2024 and 25, there will be more institutional player coming into this market, which will bring more liquidity and sustainability, and which eventually contribute to expansion of the market itself.
Great, thank you. So I guess we'll like to move on to final closing remarks. Some people in the audience might be Web3 native, others might not be. So any last messages for the audience? What they should take away from not just this session, but also the event as a whole? Son?
So that was my kind of a closing remark. But so once again, thank you. And the crypto should be like a bright future for us. So yeah, I on behalf of Binance, I think we would like to contribute to brightness of Japanese economy with stakeholders in this country. Yeah, thank you very much for having me here.
I think crypto market, I think three parts are very important. First one is like belief. Truly believe, if you truly believe the crypto market will come, even though market is volatile, sometimes the price go down, sometimes the price go up, but you stay here, just keep study and keep connect the people who you want to learn from. And second part is a curiosity, like keep seeking the new information and study. Then like you can find out alpha. And third part is like being global. So the most missing part in Asian market is most of people like more focusing on the local market or connected to the just friends around the country. But crypto is always an open market, and you can connect everyone in the world. You can send the money the other side of the earth like within 10 seconds. So even 1 second now. So please open your mind to the global market and connect to people, anyone you want to connect with. Just tweet, just GM to the person and learn and make connection with the global network. Then I think we can make a more grown community.
So I want to bring a different message out here. So I still think, because I'm a biased as a software developer myself to begin with, so I still think this whole crypto industry is basically a form of software industry. And within this industry, things that actually really drive and new innovations and create new values. It's actually having smart people trying to figure out what, something new within this blockchain space. And one of the things I was very worried about 2 years ago when OpenAI became really big, we are starting to lose a lot of talents from the crypto industry to, new AI industry. And I think we did definitely shed a lot of engineers. But the fact you're still here means that we still have a lot of quality people left in the industry. So I think it's important, if you're already building a project, an investor, make sure you're backing the quality people, because sometimes it's not the amount of money you throw out, but the quality of the people running the project that can move the needle.
Thank you very much.
I think my last message will be crypto is at an inflection point where it's an industry that's been around for 15 years. It's been around for 15 years. But now it's at the point where we're going to see quantums of capital from institutions pouring in at a pace we've never seen before. We're seeing traditional businesses starting to adopt crypto solutions, and we're starting to see a much clearer regulatory framework in a lot of the major markets. That combination is going to push the industry to a level that we've never seen before, so it's exciting.
All right, that's it for the session today. Hopefully, every one of you was able to take at least something away from this session. So if you could all give a huge round of applause to our panelists.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
ありがとうございました。Everyone, once again, our speaker, a loud applause. 最後に皆様もう一度大きな拍手をお願いいたします。Thank you, everyone.